What's up, everyone? Welcome to Leadosophy. It's Friday. Happy Friday. TGIF. Hope you have a fun weekend planned. We're going to start your weekend off the right way with a little discussion of philosophy, epistemology, and trying to figure out maybe if it applies to leadership. Is your mind a movie theater? That's the question for today. Is your mind a movie theater? Leadosophy likes to think of the mind as a movie theater in terms of that metaphor. Leadosophy likes that. We're going to talk about that today on this episode. Probably won't be real long, but hopefully you'll walk away with some meaty, some weighty, some thorny things to discuss and think about in the terms of leadership and what we make of the ultimate reality of what we see. If there even is an ultimate reality. All right, here we go.
Are you ready to permanently fuse leadership and philosophy? Then a word of caution. You are about to enter the fully abstract yet wholly concrete realm of Leadosophy. Our ideas are not always so clear and distinct. To validate this proposition, we welcome the host of Leadosophy, Tim Woody.
Friends, welcome back to Leadosophy. You're here with an open mind because that's the rule, not the exception. I am grateful if you are listening or watching on a Friday or whenever it might be. Maybe it's later. Oh, Leadosophy, always appreciate your time tuning in to this program where we talk about the fusion of leadership and philosophy. And I think that's the road we're going down today. Is your mind a movie theater? Is it a movie production and reproduction? That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to see if there's a link to leadership. I think there's a link to leadership. I'm going to try to make a very loose argument that there is. But just in general, maybe this conversation, this discussion will have some sort of benefit. Maybe it's in your personal life, professional life. It'll have benefit for me just from talking about this subject. I'd like to talk about philosophical stuff. I like to talk about epistemology or the theory of knowledge. How do we come to know what we know? When we have experiences in the world, how do we take those experiences and how do we process them? How do we process them at home? How do we process the interactions we have at work with our coworkers? How do we process all of these interactions? And then how does our mind take these interactions and then determine what is real, what is not real? Are the thoughts that I'm having based on these interactions, are they valid? Are they legitimate? Have I acquired some sort of data or information or processed something in error, cognitively speaking? And then when I base decisions based upon that, how do those decisions play out? Leadosophy believes that my mind is a movie theater. Or that's the metaphor that I talked about in the introduction. And I'm going to go with this metaphor for the continuation of this episode. My mind is a movie theater. I cannot escape my movie theater. I've said on previous episodes that I'm trapped in my theater of perception. I feel we're all trapped in our theater of perceptions. What I am discussing or talking about this has been discussed, at least in the realm of philosophy, for 2,000 years, 10,000 years probably. At least written down or recorded, we know this has been discussed for millennia. How do our minds make sense of the world we see? Imposter bias is real. Some people think that they may not be good enough for a certain task, while others see themselves as overqualified. Research shows that we tend to overvalue our decisions or actions while devaluing the decisions or actions of others. We believe we would have acted with moral strength, for example, maybe in a situation where we looked at somebody, we judged one of their moral actions, and we said that wasn't good enough. we will judge ourselves and say we would have done better. That research is out there to say that our minds process that. We will give more weight to our decisions and our actions, especially from the moral side. More weight to our decisions than we would give to others. Our minds are a movie. My mind is a movie. We'll stick with that. That's how I see it. You may have another metaphor. You may disagree with what I'm going to talk about today, and that's okay. I've said multiple times this is about deepening understanding, and I think through the process of deepening understanding, you don't have to be in agreement. Agreement isn't always necessary, and that's okay. I look at objects in the world, and I have immediate sense perceptions. I see things, I hear things, I smell things. I see a rock, the Pacific pines, the Pacific ferns. I live in the Pacific Northwest with my wife. The Pacific Ocean in the midst of a winter low storm and all the frothiness of the ocean, all the images that I see. Pretty chaotic, by the way, if you've ever seen a storm on the Pacific Ocean. I see the look on my wife's face when she's looking for her mask. And I say, hey, honey, you can use my mask. And she has this disgusting look on her face like, no way. Am I going to accept your mask and put your mask anywhere near my face? I may have had a food stain or something at one time in my inside of my mask. It happens. It happens. Or even we look at objects. We walk by a mirror and we look at an object. What do we see? We all do that. We look in the mirror and we see an object that we perceive beyond us or outside of us. And then we process it internally. All of these objects that we see, the rock, the ocean, the trees, the look on our coworker's face, the look on your spouse's face, your dog laying on your bed when your dog should be in his own dog bed. Franklin, talking to you. All of these objects immediately produce images, thoughts, ideas in our movie of the mind. This is the movie production happening. And I am my mind's movie producer. I am the actor within my movie. And I'm the key grip dude. I don't even know what a key grip dude or dudette does. I always see it on the trailers. I'm sure it's a useful thing. But I'm that dude. I'm the key grip in my mind's movie. So this immediate movie production seemingly, I say seemingly because a lot of this is kind of phenomenological, metaphysical talk, right? Do we truly understand what's going on in the mind? Not the brain, but the mind. Are they two separate concepts? Are they one and the same? That's a discussion for another day. So this movie production seemingly goes through this weird road of mediation. So we have this immediate sense perception from our senses, and then all of these things are mediated in the mind and all the brain functions that go on. So on the screen, a new movie is produced as my initial and immediate perceptions of the objects in the world are ran through this mixer of emotions, logic and reason, probably more emotional at first. Maybe we come to logic and reason later, or maybe we're doing this simultaneously. We're human. Emotions come easy. Rational thought does not. It requires a ton of mental effort, that rational thinking. So regardless of any of that, on my movie screen are the reproduced, mediated thoughts and feelings and ideas, beliefs, judgments that my mind's movie creates based on what it immediately perceives. My mind must reconcile what my senses initially perceived. The reconciliation of the perceptions. This reconciliation process is messy. Is it not? Maybe you don't think it is. Maybe you see clearly and distinctly, as Rene Descartes said. Is my mind's movie real? Am I the one who has looked at the objective world, the objects in the world, the look on a coworker's face, my boss's decision that he or she just made, an interaction between two humans in the workplace? Have I looked at these objects and figured out how to make an exact replica, an identical replica of that world that I see? And this includes the object we saw in the mirror. Have I discovered ultimate reality? Can you discover ultimate reality? And I submit if the answer is no, Leadosophy would say, then we may have a problem. Or maybe it's not a problem, maybe it's an opportunity where we have multiple realities going on at the same time. Multiple movies playing out, multiple cognitive movies being reproduced. Different actors, different producers, different key grips. So what does this mean for the work life? For the home life? Am I able to replicate ultimate reality on my mind's movie screen? It seems that I am the perfect movie producer if that is the case. But Leadosophy believes, with the quote of James Reason, to err is human. So this seems implausible. It seems implausible that I am the perfect movie producer. I am the perfect actor. I am the perfect key gripped dude. This seems, in theory and in practice, not probable at all. Maybe not even possible. Will I accuse you of being unable to replicate what you see in the world? I say your movie is flawed, mine is perfect. Is that ultimate reality? Do we think that? Do you know somebody that thinks that? Dude, you need to come back into reality. This person is not living in reality. How many times have you heard that? How many times have you heard that on social media? Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Everybody believes they have grasped reality. They know it. They have it. They objectively know it. Can our minds distort, twist, misjudge what we see? Is that more likely? Can the movie in our minds misrepresent what we see in the world? And I'm going to end here for some Friday thoughts into the weekend. What does any of this have to do with what we see when we lead others, when we follow others? What about when we ask for feedback from somebody else's movie that's playing in their mind? When they look at us, what movie starts playing? Is that movie accurate? Are there flaws in that movie that's playing in their mind? Are there holes in the script? All of us are producing and reproducing movies in our mind second by second, hour by hour, day by day, so Leadosophy believes or thinks. Maybe this isn't true. Maybe there's a better metaphor again, as I said earlier. Every decision facing us is mediated through our mind's movie production studio. Every feedback session we give, or even the feedback sessions that we receive, are mediated by different minds. However many minds are in the feedback session. However many minds are in the team project meeting. You have 12 individuals, 12 humans in the office talking about a project, or maybe they're doing it over a teleconferencing platform of their choice. 12 different minds at work, 12 different movies been played out simultaneously, yet on 12 different movie screens. All these screens are permanently inaccessible to the other. However, you can try to describe what's on your movie screen. But again, Leadosophy believes that what is actually playing and then what comes out to others, or what's described to others, can be fairly close, maybe completely fabricated. Who knows? So what does all of this talk on how we come to know things, what does this mean for leadership? What does the mind's movie metaphor, the M cubed, mean for leadership, for the discussions we have in the workplace, for the decisions we make or we do not make? And I mean the decisions we make individually and collectively. Happy Friday. Enjoy the weekend. Remember, Leadosophy is about using the tools of philosophical thought to deepen our understanding of leadership and of life. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching and listening to another episode of Leadosophy. If you liked what you heard today, hit that subscribe button and check out Leadosophy.com and learn more about Tim's ideas on philosophy and leadership. We'll see you next time.